Hello, welcome to this demonstration of Red Hat Process Automation Manager used in conjunction with UIPath. That is a nice technology to address the robotic process automation. Now, in this demo, we will see a process that is designed inside Red Hat Process Automation Manager, RHPAM for brevity. And you will see how this process will be, we'll call this UIPath service, generating an action on the other side. So for those of you that are not familiar with RHPAM, let's do really quick introduction. So first of all, what you are seeing now, it's the Business Central. That is the user interface where people can design the process, can deploy it, manage, and track the situation inside the process. So now we will see that this is a typical development environment. So the process will run inside this engine, and we will simulate the user interaction using this UI. Obviously, this is not supposed to be the real final user interface, but the goal of this demo is just showing the process behavior. And usually what customers do is creating their own user interface on top of the process engine, and then interact with the usual look and feel that they are used to. So, okay, let's start from the design phase. Going inside the design, we will see that there are some projects here. This is a proof of concept. It's the employee onboarding project. And inside the employee onboarding project, we have a bunch of processes. So filtering just for process, we have this EOB that stands for employee onboarding process. The other one is just a testing process, so we are just interested in this one. So now here we are inside the process designer, where people can design their process. Let's do some quick draft. So here I can design my process, and so on and so forth. So I already have, so I don't need this. I can drop it. Let's stick on the demo. So we already have designed our process. So the process logic is the following. The process is started from an external event, maybe a message on a message bus. Then we have a first task that is that is used to collect the employee information. After that, the process add those information to the HR system of record, and based on the feature of the employee, it decide what are the actions that are required to correctly onboard the new employee. So, for example, for some people, we need to prepare a desk, or we have to procure a new laptop, or in another case, we have to fulfill this another user action where we need to reach with other information for that specific employee. So, and this is based on the result of this decision that we can quickly see later. After that, the process continues, calling a service to send an email, and then finally wait for the final decision. After the trial period, someone will decide if this new employee will become a permanent employee, or it will be just a temporary contract. Just notice that if we go in this branch, we call we can the process engine call the compensation action that is defined here. So the user information will be removed by from the HR system of record. Okay, so this is just a nuance of the behavior of this process. Okay, so let's the point here of this process, maybe the overall demo point, is that we can show here a call to a backend process that is our UI engine, UIPath engine, that will trigger an action on a legacy application that is running in a Linux in a Windows box. So the value of robotic process automation, in few words, is that you can handle those legacy applications that not provide a convenient API call, a backend to call. So you can basically, thanks to the robotics technology, to emulate the user action on top of that UI, and finally reach the goal of fulfilling that task. So we will see that when we call this task here inside the Windows machine, a new application will be triggered. The user and password will be entered, and just an information will be inserted inside the form. Sometimes one of the point here is that sometimes you have API for your application, but you have developed on top of those applications a set of UI that contain quite sophisticated, that contains a business logic that you cannot miss. Otherwise, you're going to break the overall logic of the application. So calling the application via a robot is the best way to integrate the existing application in the new process design. So let's see this process in action. So this from the design tool, we can deploy the project. Okay, we have already the project running. Okay, so now we are in the process management console, where we can trigger the process instance on top of the process engine. And so in this case, we are going to trigger this EOP process, employee onboarding. Okay, so let's just trigger. So here, please don't consider this a real application. So this is just a way to test the overall process. So here we are going to simulate the arrival of a new employee. So we trigger the process. And going into the diagram, we can follow inside the process engine the status of the process. This is one of the key point, one of the key value of the overall BPM approach. So at any time you have a high-level view of what's going on in your systems. So now we know that there is an employee information task that is created for someone. and later we will see how the remaining part of the process will be animated by this UI, and we will show us the status of the process. Okay, so just to kick the tires, let's go into the task inbox. So again, here you have to imagine that you have developed your own user interface where you have the classical task list, like an email inbox. And for this user, we have this employee information to trigger the process. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's start the task. So first of all, the start date for this activity. Let's say that it's today. Then we can fulfill the new employee name. Let's say that it's John. The role of this user can be many: sales, for example, inside the store. Let's complete the task. Okay, let's refresh the task inbox, and now we see another task that is created for us. Just to understand what is the status of the process, let's go back into the process instance view. So here we see the running instances. We are running the first instance of the process, and let's see in detail inside the diagram what is the status of the process. So here you can see that the employee was added to the HR system of record. A business rule was executed, so everything it's gray out here means that was already executed. So now we are here at this stage in the process. We are calling this complete onboarding form, and the other tasks are not triggered because given this rule logic, this business logic, we decided that for this kind of employee, we don't need to prepare a desk, we don't need a laptop. We just need to collect further information here. And we will see later that after this task, the first mail will be sent to the user, and so on. So let's go back to the task inbox. So one task is created for this user that has to complete the onboarding form. Let's claim and work on this task. Let's start the task. And so we can see here that we can provide further information for this user. So for example, we can give the shirt size. So let's say that it's a large size, and the shoe size is 44. Okay, so here we can provide further information like the tax document and so on. So we can fill in some text here. Clicking on complete, we complete the task, and so the task is now our task list is empty. Let's go back to the process instance to understand what's happening inside our process. So again, we drill down inside the process instance, we see the diagram, and so far so good. We completed the onboarding form, and we sent to the first day welcome email to our new employee. And finally, we wait for the decision that can come after months of the job. So let's simulate that the decision was taken, and we send this decision to the engine and say, okay, the decision is done, and we can refresh here, and we see that we reached the end of the process that ended up with the permanent employee. Okay, so let's now trigger the other two pieces of this process. Okay, so we can start again the process. Let's kick off the process again, employee onboarding. And now let's move on the task inbox. And the task inbox, there is again the employee information task that is ready to collect those information. Complete and work on the task. So finally we send again the date, that is today. Let's call it Frank, a new employee. Name it Frank. Let's say that he is a manager and the department is a IT department. So based on this information, the rule engine is going to decide what are the correct action to do after this task. And if we refresh, we don't see any other task inside the inbox. So it looks that manager in the IT department, they don't need any further information to complete the onboarding. Let's see this on the process instance status. So now the process instance is the instance number 2. And we can see the diagram. Okay. And yeah, so the prepare desk was executed, and even the procure laptop. Now let's move on the Windows machine that is supporting the robotic process automation. And we see here that UIPath did the job. So basically here we have a new application that was started, and this form was filled in with this information that, by the way, it's exactly the number that is provided by the process instance. In fact, we sent to this UI the number 2, that is the process instance ID. Okay, obviously this in this demo we have just triggered this UI, and that maybe that this is just for demo purposes, is not strictly related to the demo scenario. However, this proved the point that it's possible to call from a process a UiPath action. Let's repeat this so you can see the robot in action when it triggers again this application, even to prove that the application was not already there when we called it. So let's close this application. This is the UiPath agent that is up and running. We can close it. So let's switch back on the process. Let's trigger again. Let's trigger a new process instance. Okay, process definition. Again, employee onboarding. Let's start the employee onboarding. Finally, we have the task. We fill in this task, and we start the task. Set the current date, and we now call. And now let's find another name. So, for example, it's Jane. That is again a manager in the IT department. Our IT department is full of person now. So complete the task. Let's switch really quickly on the Windows machine so we can see the robot in action. Okay, you see that the robot behind the scene has triggered this application, that is a demo that is provided by UIPath. He filled in the user and password, and he filled this form with the number 3, that again it's the number, the instance ID that triggered this path. Just to prove again the point, we can go back on the process instance, and this is the instance number 3 here, where we called the process. So this is the task that triggered the UIPath robot. Okay, so obviously, if you are not familiar with RHPAM, you are not familiar with UiPath, this demo can be a bit confusing for you. So I will provide further information, link down in this video. Hope that you enjoyed the demo, enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching, and see you again.